Today on Inside Utah Politics, medical marijuana. An Ogden City firefighter placed on unpaid leave for refusing to give up his medical cannabis card is suing the city. We're breaking down the case with Salt Lake Tribune columnist Robert Gerke. And lawmakers in the nation's capital calling for an overhaul of the country's asylum system. Why they say now is the time.
Time now for Inside Utah Politics.
Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Glenn Mills. It's time to go inside Utah politics, and we do begin this morning with Salt Lake Tribune columnist Robert Gerke. Robert, always glad to have you on the show. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, happy to be here.
You're getting into some interesting cases over the last week. Let's start with medical marijuana and an Ogden firefighter. You go in great detail outlining the case and taking a look at all of the different angles. What's at the center of this?
So at the center of it, I guess, is something that we kind of anticipated for a long time, and that is when these first responders have medical marijuana cards, does that square with the departmental policy? And so Ogden City, this firefighter, Levi Coleman, got his medical marijuana card in June of this year as a result of some back pain that he'd had for a long time. And in August, the city enacted this new policy that requires officers, firefighters to let their bosses know if they're taking any substances that might impair their judgment. Coleman complied with the policy and was a short time later put on unpaid leave. Since the 1st of September, he's been burning vacation time and sick leave and not getting paid to do this job that he's been hired to do. So he sued the city to get his to be put back on the force, basically, to be put back in service. And so there's some negotiations going on right now. This is, from all indications, the first such case in the country. Actually, the head of the firefighters union told me that they haven't seen this anywhere else. And so it's sort of a landmark case. They're trying to work it out. 3 other Ogden firefighters had relinquished their cards voluntarily. And I was also told that some unified firefighters had relinquished their cards in accordance with this policy.
Yeah, so definitely not the first one. So much to dig into here. Let's start with something you alluded to, a potential settlement. Do you see this case going through the courts, or are they going to reach an agreement?
You know, I think eventually they're going to reach an agreement. The legislature is stepping into this to make clear that they wanted to protect public employees from, adverse actions in the workplace as a result of having a medical marijuana card. Now the city says, well, it's not that he's using the drug, it's a medicine. Under state law, is treated the same as any other medicine you take, but they're doing it because he actually has this card. And so, I think eventually they're going to have to come up with a policy. I think it'll probably entail something about, you can't use it 24 hours before you're on duty or something of the sort. Now, if he had shown up to work impaired, obviously under state law, that you wouldn't want that, and
Sure.
the employer can go ahead and take action. But there's no indication, and nobody alleges that he ever showed up impaired.
Right. One thing from the city's point of view, though, was being called in on